no delegates here?
How nice to see you.
Okay. Ainsley's here, so we can start.
No, you look good. Color's good on you.
Ainsley's here. Okay. Okay, this morning we have, let's have a little quiet here, please. This morning we're going to have a report from Dan Cruz and Judy. And first we'll start the meeting. We have a quorum.
At 41.
We have 41. Before we go to the minutes, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Dan Cruz and Judy. Dan, this is very important.
No 40 elders. I asked my brother Joey.
Good morning. My name is Dan Cruz. I'm the Regional Facilities Supervisor for September. I was asked here from the Recreation Board to do a little bit of a presentation of what we're going to be doing in the front of the clubhouse. This will be probably a 2.5 month project where we'll be putting a facelift in the front where the buses park. The asphalt and concrete will be taken up, new walkways, curbings and landscaping will be installed. Judy will be explaining, as you see in this map, why when we close this off, where the buses are going to be going to, where security is going to be, and how the shows are going to go forward. So I'm going to let her take it from here. And if there's any questions with the construction, I'll take on.
Morning, everyone. Sorry, too loud. Basically, what we're doing is rerouting the buses to the back of the clubhouse. I don't know how many of you have ever played ping pong. Behind the ping pong room, there used to be a maintenance area. That got converted to a meeting room. That meeting room has a door that opens to the back side of the clubhouse. We did a test run with the buses. We can fit 2 buses back there. So we're going to be taking over the parking area behind the building and then the roadway for the buses. They'll stack up 2 by 2. Academy is working with us. They're going to give us an exact setup for each time the buses make their route. So the people that are waiting for the buses, we will move some couches out of the lobby, the smaller ones, into that meeting room so they can sit comfortably. They'll be in the AC. There won't be any spaces to sit outside for 2 reasons. Number 1, the heat. The number 2, I need all the buses to come in and come to a complete stop, just like Disney. Once it's a complete stop, we'll open the door and the guard and the bus supervisor will announce the different buses. So each area, like if you're taking bus number 1, you'll go out first, however they line up. It's going to be a choreographed experience every single time. That door will stay closed until those buses are completely stopped. I don't want anybody in the way of a driver that can't see, or if for some reason the driver needs to pull a little forward or back up, anything like that. Nobody's outside that door until the buses are stopped and ready. So it's gonna require a lot of patience. Trust me, we're here to make sure that everybody gets to and from their shopping and their house safely. So none of this is done to irritate you. It is strictly done to keep you safe. Also, the other 2 things that are going to happen is we're going to be moving the entrance of the building because you won't be able to go anywhere here in the front. All of this will be shut off. They're going to be doing a lot of construction on the driveway there, and they're also going to be eventually putting in awnings along the sidewalks. So we've created an entrance at the indoor pool. It seems a little counterproductive, I understand. However, there's a double door right here. And so for people coming in and out, you have the space. If you have a walker, if you have a wheelchair, this allows you to go in and out a little more safely. Also, it's really the front of the building is the only place we can have pedestrian traffic on either side. I won't have any resident traffic in the back of the building at all during the project. So there will be a guard that's going to be in this area right in front of the outdoor pool. There's a bus rack right there. The bus rack's going to be moved out of the way. That's going to be resident drop-off. So again, this is going to be a choreographed situation that we're really going to have to rely on the patience and understanding of our residents. The buses are gonna come down like they normally do, this main road. They're gonna turn and then proceed around the back of the building. So this little section right out in front of this door is going to be well monitored by a traffic guard. If you're dropping somebody off, they're gonna give you instructions. Either you're gonna have to sit back a little bit, let a bus go past, or they're gonna hold the bus and let you come in and drop off your person. There's gonna be no traffic coming back this direction on these parking lot roads. That will increase the safety. I know it's a little bit of an inconvenience, but it's a huge increase in safety. So once you come in that main road like you normally do, and you turn down these rows here to come into the parking lot, one way, and then this one-way road coming out. Now, when you pick up after a show, you're gonna have to leave that row, go down this one way, make that circle again. Again, patience is a virtue, and we're gonna need every single bit of it for all of this to go safely, and that's the main concern. On the other side of the building, where that door is right back there, we're gonna set up a second entrance. So if you park in this side of the parking lot, you can come in through this door. We'll have a guard at this door, we'll have a guard at the door at the indoor pool. The ID office will come out here and meet you to do decals. So instead of coming to the back of the building like you're used to, for the time during the construction, you'll go right outside here, and the ladies will come out and put on your decal. Again, patience is a virtue, we're gonna use it as much as we can. The entrance here at the indoor pool is where you can come in, go down the hallway in front of the gym. If you've never been in that area, take a tour, go over there and look at the hallway so you're familiar with it. We'll put up some signage, but that hallway will lead you to the men's and women's locker rooms, that will lead you to the outdoor pool. So if you're gonna park over here in row C or D over here, come through this door, you can get to the locker rooms and then to the outdoor pool from this side of the building. You can also go down that long hallway, excuse me, that'll bring you into the lobby. And again, we'll have signage up there for anybody who hasn't been to that side of the building yet. The back side of the building is only gonna be for staff to park, so that we're not taking up your parking spaces. It's also gonna be for vendors. No pedestrian traffic, no resident traffic. It's going to be limited on us to, we come in a certain time, we leave at a certain time, so I can regulate that. Again, I'm keeping my staff safe, I'm keeping the residents safe. So just please remember that. We'll get through this as quickly as we can, and hopefully we'll be out of here in 2.5 months. You'll have a beautiful front of your clubhouse, and we'll all be better for it. Anybody got a question? Hold on. I'm sorry, what, Jane?
Oh,
I'm sorry, I should have said that at the beginning. Sharon?
Dave,
Monday, the 18th. Okay, so they're gonna start to make some arrangements. You'll see that the awning is gonna be arriving here today, the temporary sidewalk's gonna be arriving today, and Monday, the 18th, the project will actually start. Hold on 1 second, yeah. Dave's got the microphone.
Hi, Susan Ortsman, Preston. I read on your blog, on your West blog, with the front, in fact, I have some copies here, the front of the clubhouse. You said in your blog that you're taking down the big palm trees here
Yes, ma'am.
because of the browns that fall.
Yep.
Okay, we pay Maximum a lot of money. Why can't they, when they see, like there's one out there now, why can't they just cut it down rather than, those trees have been there probably since 40, 50 years.
I'll tell you my version, and I'll let maintenance.
Because I was shocked
Yeah.
when I went on to the West website and I read that. I was like, huh?
Well, first of all, the trees are old and they're not as healthy as they used to be. That's one of the, hold up. Sorry, the very tall trees that are right outside these windows here.
Right,
But-
the palm
but
trees.
The fronds, here, you're not gonna see here, it's in front of the building. But the fronds,
The tall ones, Harriet, that are in front of the building.
let me answer her question, then I'll answer yours. So Susan?
Yes.
The fronds fall at will. We could be out there every single day looking at them. Maxim's not here every single day. So those fronds are dangerous. They have bent the railing. They are so heavy. when they fall, and they're so high now, that distance, and there's literally, you could trim it and the next day one falls. That's
Question.
nature.
How much is this costing us?
That is in your budget, you guys, this has already been decided from that.
Was this in, Stanley, was this in the budget last year to do this year? Because I don't remember.
If Judy is telling you yes, my answer is gonna be yes also.
Well, no, you're the one that announced, no, at meetings, at our Cobrua meetings, which I've gone to most of them.
So all
And I don't remember this ever being mentioned, so perhaps you could look back, Stanley, on Cobrua meetings, who's ever in charge of that, and everything is recorded. I would like to know, was this in the budget, just like the awnings you're putting up? I remember a year ago, maybe more, I was the one who suggested it, just like I suggested a couple of things, which I'm very happy about that, especially parking in the parking lot. But I don't ever remember this part being in the budget.
Dan will speak to this, but the audience.
Just to let you know, definitely it's in the budget from last year, it was approved, okay? The reason also that the palms were considered to be taken down is because of the awnings, okay? We couldn't go with the metal awnings for the expense, so we're going with the vinyl awnings that you see that are coming out the side doors over here to blend in with that. With one of those palms falling on those awnings, it would destroy the awnings.
I'm not worried about that. I can understand that. It just seems, you know, during the holidays and it's all lit up, they literally are so beautiful. I'm living here over 20 years. And yes, I've seen a lot of improvement. But sometimes I see so much and I'm saying, where the hell is this money? You know, we're being bled dry in the first place, which I can understand why. I can understand insurance, et cetera, but sometimes too much is being, we don't live in Woodfield Country Club. I'm not saying that we should be so fancy schmancy, but it's costing a lot of money to do all of this. And obviously you have money in the budget, so we shouldn't have to get a raise from Sen West.
My 6th year sitting in this chair. Every year we decide on a budget. The budget is signed in November or October, I'm sorry, for the new coming year. This is part of the budget. We would not go above and beyond your budget unless it was a life safety issue.
And what are we
So, hold on. When that budget is decided, the M&O committee will let you know. That's the process that happens. But we're not here to argue your budget processes. We're here to explain the situation that's gonna be happening here for safety purposes. If you guys wanna have a discussion about if you have a complaint, I should say, about anything that's happening with the budgets, do me a favor, sit down and write it out and let us know. I can't have that, it's not my place to have this argument right now. It's just not, we're here for instructional purposes.
I understand that, Judy, but now I'm looking and I'm saying, okay, what are we gonna do next year in the 2024? I mean, everything in this clubhouse has been revamped. What's left?
But Susan, again, that's not this meeting. What we're doing right now is discussing a budgeted item that we are taking care of this year. The M&O committee will discuss with you anything that they have planned for the following years and years to come. But for our purposes, maintenance and life safety is where we begin. So even if something does beautify, the underlying issue is probably a life safety issue. We make it beautiful so that it doesn't look industrial. So that, but again, this is not the time for this. This discussion was to go over the safety precautions for the upcoming construction. I appreciate your thoughts, and I appreciate if you want to put anything in writing and leave it at the desk with Sherry. We'll get there, but today let's focus on what the task at hand.
Everything I've said, I don't have to give to Sherry.
Okay.
I've said it here.
Okay.
And I have a copy of the blog.
I think she answered.
And just to be clear, it's our website, it's not a blog. And yeah, I just wanted to, so that when I mention it.
Judy, I
Yes.
would like to speak.
Sure.
Number one, all these people live in associations, including this woman. She has palm trees in her association. They drop funds. They drop on other plants, they drop on the walkway, they drop in the parking lot, they drop on the cars. So I agree 100%. It could be a liability. And another thing, if people are disgruntled about their maintenance going up, that's the association problem. You need to continue whatever you have to do to keep this place the way it should be. Thank you. We appreciate it.
And just so we're clear here, just so you guys understand, anything that we're doing, it is always with the cooperation and guidance of your board. We don't go around that.
Judy, I have a safety question.
Excuse me, this lady, I'm sorry.
Hold it. Let's get recognized here. Mitch has the floor, then we'll come to you, Miss. Go ahead, Mitch.
Hi, Judy. I'm Mitch from Brighton. I was just wondering, a lot of the highlights that you brought up, really there's only about 40 people here, maybe another 40. Are you planning on putting this on Channel 63?
Yes, sir.
And when you're putting up signage around, like, you should be doing this over here and this over here, are you also putting a little notation on the bottom? Please also review on Channel 60.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, throughout the clubhouse, we'll have signage when you come down.
Dave, we have a woman up here, Miss.
Yeah.
Miss, he's gonna come with a mic. He's gonna come with a mic for you. This woman right here in the white. Who, Fred?
Can you specify what safety issues justify the cost and inconvenience to everyone here?
Well, going back to the palm fronds fall, they have bent metal. If that hits a person, we're talking hospitalization. So that's one thing. I'll let Dan speak to some of the other construction.
We also had problems with the lights that you see that actually were put in probably about 3 years ago. Very expensive fixtures that we out there. They're thousands of dollars, okay? And been out for repair because of the problems hitting these things and bending them also. But the main reason that we actually decided to go this is because the awnings were a factor here, okay? There's no way I could put these awnings across from the walkway to the center here with these fronds falling on it and damaging. It would cost thousands of dollars of repairs, okay? So that's the reason that these palms were let go. But how we're going to do this so that lighting and everything will be really spectacular also, okay? Using the lighting that we had in different angles, different ways that you would see. That unfortunately that we are removing these trees with the lights that we had on. I think the light show that we have with the fixtures that we have presently, okay, will be positioned in different locations to make it look really beautiful in the front of the clubhouse. Okay?
No, this is just for the delegates, Fred.
Isn't it a security-related issue, Mr.
No,
Chairman?
no, this is not a security
If you want to
issue.
know about
Bring it
safety.
up under security. If it's a security issue, bring it up under security.
Elaine Harris, hi. I'm again questioning the tall palm trees, if you don't mind. I think you're saying the trees that are here.
Yes.
So are you touching the
No.
trees that circle?
No.
Are you touching the big trees that go that way? Yeah, I have it backwards. So nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, only those.
And they're royal palms. They're not trees, they're royal palms. Those are the tall palm trees that we have in the front. I think there's 9 of them, if I'm not mistaken, okay? And again, I love the trees and I love the palms. It was a decision that was made because we wanted to also cover the people from now on coming from the parking lot with these awnings coming towards the center there. So again, it will, with the light show that we're presenting you, that we're going to be doing with this renovation, and including what we're going to be doing with the palms that are existing out there, the royal palms that are on both sides, which we're not touching. Yes.
I think that what you should take into consideration when you're talking about the trees is the awnings that are going to be going up. We have wanted awnings for a lot of years for the heat. When you walk from your car, the sun is beating down on you. When it rains, it's difficult. And we're all older, and those are long walks sometimes from your car to the front of the building. This way you will have the awnings, which I think are really important. The trees, some of them are diseased. If you look at the lower part of the trunks, you can see that they are not healthy trees at all anymore. And as far as redoing the front and helping the front of the building, It's at least, what, 50 years, Dan, since anything was done as far as structure-wise on the front of the building.
Yes.
And just because it's been here for 25 or 50 years, we've gotten our use from it. It's been beautiful, but it'll be something new, and it'll be just as beautiful. We will find a place to put the Christmas lights, because that's important to all of us. Actually, I shouldn't call them Christmas lights. I should call them the holiday lights, because that is important. And it will be a beautiful front that you'll be proud to have your friends come to. But again, my point is, it's time to a change, and especially for the canopies, especially now that we're having the heat that we're getting in the summertime. I'm sure a lot of you, when you take that walk from your car to the front door, are not happy campers. So have patience, as Judy says. The process itself is going to be a little inconvenient, but I do think you'll be happy with the end result.
I just want to say a little bit more on this too. There was more just than the awnings. There was a lot of safety factors also with trip hazards. How we're going to maintain the walkways outside there that continue to keep being maintenance and spending thousands of dollars to maintain. The buses riding through the asphalt where we spent thousands of dollars, and literally thousands. So this is all going to be epoxy cement, sort of like you have in a Disney thing where you have the traffic that's going through there, but it'll be easy to be cleaned up, and it will last a lot longer, and we won't have to redo asphalt like we've been doing in the past. So it is saving you money, okay, in the long run here, okay, for your down the road, knowing that this is something in a 5-6 year period that you're going to be taking over, okay? Thank you.
And there'll also be security guards and signs posted to guide the people, is that correct?
Yes, the security plus that we'll be meeting with the fire department also, okay? Just because we're closing the front entrance, we want to make sure that they understand how they will be getting around the back sides. We've coordinated this with Judy and the security and the bus drivers, okay, for the future. So we will be meeting with them sometime this week, okay, to just walk with the chief and see exactly what we're doing.
There'll be signs in the building to show you. So after, you can ask, after good welfare, you can ask the questions, so just for delegates.
And this is all
What we're
permanent.
going to do is, at the M&O committee, we decided to have signs directing you where to go. Security will be there when you pull up. But if you make a mistake with a car, security will be there to turn you around to make sure that everyone's safe. It's going to, the first couple of days, like everything else, will be a pain in the neck. We'll have to clean that up. But after that, everything will be fine. And when you see the completed, when this is completed, you'll say it was worth every penny of it. Okay, anything else, Dan, Judy?
I have a question.
The signs are gonna be posted.
Yes, we have Dave, we have a gentleman back there in red.
While he's walking back, the signs, this large sign will be posted, one will be at the front door, one will be at the back door. I can put the other, I'll be putting that on 63. If you want a copy of it, I can make some black and white copies and leave them at Sherry's desk. It's pretty simple. Once we actually get it rolling, we should be fine. I just ask for everyone's patience as we start. It's new, so we're all gonna be, making sure everybody's keeping their eyes open.
Good morning, my name is Alvin, I'm with the Financial Association. Dan and Judy, I want to compliment you for taking the initiative to update. Besides, I take you at face value that it was in the budget, as well as practicality. More so that we have over 2,000 associations in Boca, and you want to maintain and update what we have now. As you can see, that total is 1.3, so we benefit from that. We'll benefit from your improvement, from being contemporary. The intrinsic value will add a lot to the value here. Thank you very much.
One point is the importance of this getting done on schedule, because we're ready to talk about the middle of November, so we have people coming in and more people coming in, and the quicker we can get it done, the better.
can still get around the
The
back.
more that everybody cooperates, the faster we can work. So, just like I said, be wary, keep your eyes and ears open. Walkers and bike riders, keep an eye open to the traffic, and traffic, keep an eye open to the walkers and the bike riders, and we'll do the rest. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dan, Judy, thanks for coming. Okay, let's continue with the meeting, let's go on to the minutes.
The last delegates meeting was May. The minutes of the May meeting appear in the June edition of the Cobrua Reporter. The one on your bench is the summer edition. It's not in there, it's in this one. Has anyone found an addition, a correction, or an omission from the minutes of May? And if not, is there any objection to accepting the minutes as published in the Cobrua Reporter? Thank you.
Okay, that president's report, Dan and Judy just gave the president's report. Treasurer's report, Ted, you gonna give the treasurer's report?
As prepared by Lynn, the month-ending balance in checking account, $11,466, $37,600 in CD, a total of $49,054 compared with $48,900 last month.
You have any questions on it? Okay, security, are you ready?
Good morning, everyone. I'll be giving a recap for the month of August. For June and July, it is on the reports with the presidents, okay? For the month of August, total miles patrolled was 4,766. We had 4,186 pre-authorization calls to the gates, 1,210 food deliveries, and 1,330 contractors, vendors through the gate. A total of 2 car accidents in the month of August. This summer, security also worked in improving access control at the gates. We updated our systems, so most of you guys already been through the gates enough to, they're asking for IDs, we're processing them. Make sure that you call your personal aides, Ubers, food deliveries, and guests, okay? When they get to the gates, make sure that they have the right address as well. Sometimes we have a guest, they are not sure about the address, not familiar, or giving wrong information to the guards, and when we go to the computer, it takes longer. So we need everyone's help so we can expedite the process at the gates and we don't have longer lines. Also, we have upgrade our uniforms. The guards now wear the gray shirts and the supervisors wear the black uniforms. If you guys have any questions, you guys can see me after the meeting. One more thing, Chief Jody Bogues, she's on leave. She's gonna be back October 1st.
When did you start?
As you know, I go in and out the gate.
Yes.
Very often. I must.
Yeah.
All the workers at the gatehouse, they get so much abuse from people that don't want to hear what they're told or don't want to show what they're supposed to, and they're so professional. And you know, I'm in and out constantly, so I commend them.
Thank you, Richard, for bringing that
And
up.
just off that, how's Jody and her baby doing?
They are doing great, thank you.
We miss her.
Yes. Yes, at the gates we're requiring everyone to show the IDs, okay? So the guards are requesting that for guests, and I don't have it, I forgot, and giving them a hard time, okay? So please make sure that your guests are aware that they need to show identification at the gates. okay? And that they are ready to take that. Challenging the guards is not gonna make a difference, it's just gonna hold the line, okay? So they are trying to process efficient the best they can, but we need your help. As a resident as well, if you live here and I ask you guys, come to the IT office, get a decal, that help us tremendous at the gates. Or get a Century Village ID, then you just show the ID. But if you're a resident and you have a driver's license, not a Century Village ID, we're gonna have to check the system as well, okay? So your assistance or your help is really appreciated.
Michael? I was listening to Ms. Millington's report with great interest. There's been a tremendous uptick in COVID cases. First of all, Annalise, is there still a mask mandatory policy for the buses?
No.
No. Okay. So my concern is this new waiting room that's going to be in the back of the clubhouse. Rather than people being able to wait in a large, high-ceiling lobby, you're now going to be loading people into a relatively small area with no mask mandatory requirement. I think this is a very dangerous, unhealthy situation. I've been going to the dances a lot, and we try to stay social distance. There's still a sign in front of the clubhouse saying maintaining distance, but people are not. And to put into a waiting room a policy where you're going to shove everybody into a small space and not require masking, you're creating liability. Thank you very kindly.
Fred, what you just said, put it in writing, give it to Sherry, give it to Judy so that it can be discussed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is anything going to help cut down the length of the lines? Are people learning that the next time around they should be doing something different? Is there something we should be doing to get information out on a regular basis?
To help cut down the line at the gates, it's mainly residents. We have a lot of residents that doesn't have a Century Village ID or a decal. Update
and for years that never bothered them.
Yes.
Or maybe there's a reason that they don't do it, and we ought to find out why.
It's not because it's not mandatory, but it helps the gate. It helps that you're coming and getting your information on your BTI and at the IT office and putting your updated information. Something else, sometimes residents change their numbers. We try to contact the residents through the gates. The number is no longer for the person who doesn't work. So keeping update information with the ID office help us expedite the lines of the gates. Calling your guests, your nurses, aides, house cleaners, Ubers, food deliveries, all of them are being checked in the system. So for us to stop and call the resident, one call not answered backs up the line. So if you guys already call, not the gate, you need to use the ABTI, the access control. We have an app now that you can go right there, put your information, your guest information, and we'll be notified when they arrive.
That's the type of thing I was talking about, and I think you have to have a way, we have to find a way of getting that information out, not just to the delegates here, through the presidents, through the association, somehow doing it. But on the same token, sometimes I see trucks online for UPS truck. Do you picture being able them to just drive in?
The UPS trucks, the mail service, they don't need to, we log them in, but they don't need to be called in because they have multiple deliveries here. So if, for example, UPS, they have more than 5 or 10 units, we cannot call each one of you guys. So they're gonna be logged on our system as an entry for the day, but they don't need to be called in. That is just for UPS.
But they have to be.
The mail courier.
They have to be on the guest line at this time.
Yes, they have to be on the guest.
And that's one more thing that just, that line
That
gets
adds
longer
up.
and longer. Maybe I have to think about that.
And
Yeah, so that's why we got the assistance of the residents and their guests is really helpful.
Arthur Harris, Height. Apparently, the safety island outside Guilford was destroyed yet again. Is there anything that can be done in terms of putting safety cones outside, in front and behind it, to avoid taking out those trees and signage again?
That is an association matter. That was an incident the previous weekend.
Well, it's West property, it's not association.
Outside of Guilford.
Outside of Guilford. Oh, okay. Again, I can bring that up to Ms. Judy, or if you guys can write it down, that comment, the information desk. What we have to say here is slow down, watch your speed. Those incidents can be easily avoided if everybody obey the speeding sign.
Hi, my name is Fran Griggs and I'm from Mansfield. That app that you were speaking about, maybe if we put up signs saying you can have an app to call in people and give them the app address. I did not know that there was an app address. Can I ask you what it is?
It is called ABDI, Gate Access.
B like boy?
Yes, ABD as in Dave I, Gate Access.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Going back to the UPS trucks, I have seen the UPS trucks coming through the resident side numerous times. Why is that happening?
To move the line along, depending how far it is, the lines on the gas lane, we move the commercial vehicles to the resident lane.
Hey.
You're gonna be hurting tonight.
Hello, I don't need to get, my name's Alan with Pan Shop. I compliment the improvements that you've done. I've also noticed the backup in the gas, in the gas line. And I think it's more incumbent upon you and hopefully the board to put out this information on the, as the gentleman said, on there, 63, channel 63, put in the Cobrua. And if you could post a flyer on the mailbox, maybe that would be helpful. That way it could be, well, read by everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dave, I have another question on those.
There's one over there, then I'll go to you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is George. I live in Fanshawe Ave. Across my balcony, this water place, there is so low water and so dirty. It's place. If possible, somebody have to clean somewhere have to clean this, because this is right now. Before was better, right now no gas, no nobody, not living there. Please, if possible, could clean this water place. Thank you.
Dave, could you repeat it?
Yes. Please, please, Dave, repeat the question.
It's an association. It's an association.
Have a question, please?
Thank you so much.
On the gate entry, my question is, well, you're saying check channel 63. It has come to my attention that Hotwire has begun installing the 5 associations that are under contract with them. And Hotwire subscribers are not able to access the Century Village channel 63. I spoke to the consultant, Fernando, that's representing those associations, and he says as long as the clubhouse is willing to give us permission, we can transmit channel 63 to the 5 associations. So it's very important, guys, that you work this out with Judy and Hotwire. Otherwise, you're gonna have 1,544 units that will not be able to access Channel 63. Thank you.
I thought that hot wire was gonna be installed after the first of the year.
No. Excuse me.
They're ready to go now.
Because if they wait till the first of the year, Michael, they cannot do 1,544 units in one day. So they have begun doing installations. In fact, there are people in this room that have scheduled appointments I've spoken to. And I know one or two were done last week in Yarmouth, because they have to stagger the installs, because the snowbirds will be coming back soon, and they want to get all of the homesteaders, as many as possible, online. So these people now are going to be quite a while without access to Channel 63, unless the clubhouse works this out with the new cable vendor. It's very important, and we're in hurricane season too, I might remind you.
We have a hot wire committee that's gonna be making a report, and have the committee bring it up with Judy. Have the hot wire committee bring it up with Judy to arrange for the changeover.
Okay, thank you, Michael.
Right. Yes,
Annalise, I'm here almost 25 years. It's like the condo owners can't have it both ways. I have relatives in multi-million-dollar, I lived on the island of Palm Beach, staff security, they have long lines. The people might act a little different and not get upset. Why I say I've been hearing this, people complain the security's not good over the years, they let everybody in, they don't check anything, and then you get a comment about long lines. Which is it gonna be? Check the people, keep the place safe, stop for break-ins if they happen, or just let them go quick and don't check. You're doing the right thing,
Thank you, Richard.
especially what's going on all over.
any other questions for security? Okay then, please, thank you very much, we appreciate it. I'm gonna go to Cobra with Sid. Sid?
Good morning again. I want to give you a heads up today of upcoming dates if you want to become a candidate for Cobra Group office. There will be 4 seats open on the Cobra Group board in February 2024. The term is for 2 years, February of 24 to February of 26. Election procedures and eligibility are governed by the Cobra Group bylaws, Article 9. The applicable provisions are: the notice of intent to run is due in the Cobra Group office by November 10, 2023. It should be mailed to the Cobra Group 2028@gmail.com. There will be available form declarations of intent to run. I will have them available for you probably in the next few days. If you miss the November 10 date, nominations will be taken from the floor at the January 9, 2024 Cobrua Delegates meeting. The election will be held at the February 13, 2024 Cobrua Delegates meeting. The electors are, of course, you, the delegates. The positions are open to any permanent resident who is a unit owner of record. A permanent resident is defined as a person who has resided at Century Village West for at least 9 months in the preceding calendar year and is either a member of the Cobrua Executive Board or a director of a constituent member condominium association of Cobrua. So those are the dates if you're thinking about running. just put it on your calendar, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Any questions?
Okay, we have a new committee. It's called the Hot Wire Committee. We have some associations that are dealing with hot wire, so I formed this committee so that if they have any complaints, God bless you, or any questions, they can go to their committee. Regina has chosen to make the report today for hot wire. Regina, you want to take the mic, please?
There are 5 associations affiliated with the new hot wire project. And as far as construction, all fiber infrastructure has been installed at the property and at each one of our buildings. Fiber to the units has been tested, it's been certified, and all units at Guilford, Yarmouth, Hythe are ready for unit activations, and we started on 9/5, the day after Labor Day. Wolverton and Newcastle are ready for unit activations as of yesterday, 9/11. We do have many pending items, and they're all being addressed. The pool areas are still pending approval, so to speak, from the Master Association, SenWest, to deliver fiber to each one of the 5 pool houses. In order to activate Wi-Fi service at these locations, we are awaiting some legalities, and Judy is working on that and will let us know when we're up and ready to install at our pool areas. There's a painting project. Hotwire has agreed to paint. We have piping that goes above the doors on each of our catwalks in the front of the buildings. There are piping areas going up some of the towers. Hotwire is willing and able and has agreed to paint the entire project, and that will be scheduled to complete only once all the in-unit installations are up and running. There's no sense painting now. Men are using fingers and tools to access each of the apartments, so we all agreed to wait until the complete installation process is done, up and ready. And then as far as what Fred had mentioned with Channel 63, the end of our project is scheduled basically for the end of 23, early 24. We will have a Channel 63 community channel of our own that will be in unison with everything that SenWest has on the Channel 63 presently. We are in discussion with the installers now to make a transition, so as people are installed with Hotwire, that they will be able to still ascertain Channel 63. They are in discussion as to the installation process to have that little hitch handled properly. As of January 1, we will be ready to transition to a Hotwire Channel 63 that will be on a different station, and each association that's involved with Hotwire will be able to be in discussion when that decision is made, okay? We might opt to keep the regular 63 if it's possible, or go with a different kind of community station that Hotwire will naturally have control over. Up until then, that's everything we have as far as Hotwire is concerned. Any questions?
Thank you, Regina. Okay, thank you. We're gonna have a report on hot wire every month. Stanley, community, and M&O.
Good morning, everyone. There's going to be information coming out today regarding the new vaccination on COVID. Not everyone will need it, but my suggestion is watch your television or read the papers, and they'll tell you exactly what's involved with the new vaccine. The West Boca Council is having a meeting tonight, 7 o'clock, at the library on 441. The speaker will be a representative from GL Homes going over what they're doing in the community. The only warning is they're going to be checking all weapons as you go in. No, I'm just kidding. Any questions? M&O. The committee met with management on Wednesday, August 16th, present with Judy Milken, Monica Wells, Chief Financial Officer, Dan Cruz, Regional Facilities Manager, and Laura Coffey, Attorney for Senville Recreation.
Excuse me, Stan, gentlemen, please. Okay, Stan, go ahead.
All committee members were present. Here are some of the highlights of the meeting. The automatic door for the rear entrance of the clubhouse should be installed by the end of October. We're waiting for the engineer's report on where to place the blinking warning lights at the crosswalks, and they're going to come up where they felt is the best place. We're going to be working on the next budget, talking about a wall for the Lions Road area, which is going to be a big problem to figure out, what we want to do and the expense. And we're trying to keep the budget as reasonable as possible. So what we do is we prioritize items. So we'll discuss things and decide which way to go on that situation. Judy went over the clubhouse renovations, the weir. That's where the water is controlled to go out of the lakes. We put off renovation of the weir for next budget year. We're trying to work out an agreement with Academy as to the damage created by their buses leaking oil on the roadways. So that's been a tough one, but I think we're getting closer and closer to resolve the issue. The collections for the past month were approximately they were $68,223. Regina explained the decisions or things that are coming up for hot wire, so there's no point in repeating it. And just to repeat myself, we're going to be working on the budget this month. Actually, next Wednesday, we're having our monthly meeting, and that's going to be talking about budget. So hopefully we can keep things as reasonable as possible, knowing what's going on in the village with the associations. For the past 6 years, we've been pretty good on our budget. Last year, we started out with all the problems in the area and in the country. We started out with a budget of $40, brought it down to 19, which was the highest budget increase that we had in the last 6 years. Prior to that, no increase was greater than $3, and in 1 year, we even had a slight reduction. So taking into consideration what's going on, we're going to be working our tails off to see how we can come up with the most reasonable budget. Any questions?
Hi, Stanley. Lily Benvenuto on Lincoln C. I'd like to circle back to the comment that you made on GL Homes and when the meeting is. Is it the library on 441?
If I don't mention, yes, the library on 441,
And, or,
7 o'clock tonight.
and to the public, anyone can?
Yeah, it's going to be a little crowded, so it's also going to be on Facebook.
Oh, all right, thank you.
Hi, Susan Ortsman, Preston. Had to be about a year ago, I heard about the wall. And I mentioned to Michael, I think I was talking to Sherry, I mentioned to Michael, a wall? And you said to me, for $1 million? No way.
That was my opinion.
That was your opinion, and I think that's everybody's opinion. And I want to know, and I'm assuming, you want to put up a wall because the bushes in front are rotting because they're ficus. Being that we have Maximum, and I used to work for a pest control company, and I know whitefly, it's just, you're just putting money into money into money. The only one that's making money on it is the pest control companies, okay? Is there some way you could think of something else rather than putting up a wall for $1 million? Thank you.
As far as the wall, when I moved here, there was a wooden, I don't want to call it a fence because it was higher and nicer. People objected to that it reminded them of something. It was all taken down years ago. They didn't want to be fenced in or whatever. As far as a wall, I know you want to make this place sort of in competition with all these other communities that have wall. We want people to move here. What about different bushes? As far as the ficus, they're not being treated properly. You go right across the street lines and go up by the golf course. The ficus bushes are beautiful in so many areas. The goal is for them to be taken out. Who's going to benefit? The landscaping company. There are plenty of other bushes that can go in there. Podocarpus, which he's using in other areas, and we can have a nice wall of green. Thank you.
Any other questions for Stanley? Okay. Old business, anything on the old business? Anything on the new business now? Do you have anything on the new business?
One question. I read Fred Hadley's blog, and I'm sure most people do. And it was mentioned, I don't know if this is appropriate to talk about now, that Michael, you want end-term limits. Is that something that we could speak about now, or just wait for the future?
Right after, you have to wait until you vote on the bylaw.
Okay, no problem.
Alan's going to bring it up now.
Thank you.
Following what it says in the Cobrua bylaws, there's a procedure if anyone wants to propose an amendment to change the bylaws. One of them is the president can propose an amendment. So Mike took advantage of that and proposed that we remove from the bylaws the paragraph that specifically states that after serving as president, the president may not run again for president the next term, and also may not run for first vice president or second vice president. If he waits until the next 2 years go by, he can run again 4 years later, but he can't serve again immediately. And he noticed that the president is the only office in the entire village for which that's true. For example, each of these secretaries can run again over and over. Every association president can run over and over until they reach that 8th term, which was legislated by Tallahassee. But we're not 718, so that doesn't even apply to us. So he said, let's take that out. And he did it the proper way. He reproduced the paragraph the way it is, and then following the law, crossed out the part he wants to eliminate and writes in italics or in bold the new thing that he might want to add. He didn't add anything new, but he did say, take out the president may not run again. So, the bylaws committee will consider that and will format it and present it to this body at 2 consecutive delegates meetings that are going to be coming up. And at the end of the second meeting, the delegates will vote to approve that amendment or to reject it. So, once again, we're talking about removing the restriction on presidents from running again after their terms are up. So you can think about that if you want to, but you'll be given something formal to read about it, and then you'll be given 2 months to consider it before voting.
We can't discuss it, but I just want to mention one thing. My nose is still the same size as it was when I entered the bylaw change. Okay.
I'm sorry, does that pertain only to you? It doesn't pertain to me.
I'm sorry, we can't hear you.
I'm sorry.
It only pertains to you as president. It doesn't pertain to each village.
No, it doesn't
Okay.
pertain to me as president. It pertains to anyone who wants to be president.
So therefore, my president of Preston
No, that has
has nothing, that's what I want to make sure, because you
No,
said
that's
president. Okay, thanks.
It's an associate, it's a Cobrua thing. Okay, anything else on the new business, good and welfare? Yes, ma'am. You'll get you the mic.
Concerning the Century Village pools, I noticed in the winters, you're running the heaters and you're trying to heat up freezing cold water. If you would, and when I put my foot over the heater, it's not hot, it's not even warm. If you would raise the temperature 2 degrees, you would have a more energy efficient system, because it would be heating lukewarm water instead of freezing cold water. And a lot of the owners can't even go in the water, it's so cold during the winter months. Just something to think about.
Anybody else have on the good and welfare from the delegates? Yes. Back there, woman back there in blue. Ladies, one meeting, discuss, ladies, discuss it after the meeting, please. Yes, ma'am. Tell us who you are. Once you get the mic, and discuss whatever you want.
Hi, good morning, Carolyn Haynes from Exeter. Mike, I'm gonna make my announcement now, okay? All right. I wanted to let you know that this year, we're going to be setting up a celebration for veterans. Do we have any veterans in the room?
Yeah, right here.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much for your service. We'll be having a celebration for veterans on Thursday, November 9th. It's 2 days before Veterans Day. It'll be here in the clubhouse. We've got a really nice program set up for you that I think everyone will enjoy. It'll be probably early afternoon that we'll be setting. We're doing all the arrangements now, but we've got a really great program. And look forward to having you attend. It will be on Channel 63. We'll put it in the Cobrua Reporter. We'll put signs up at each of the buildings so that everyone's aware of it. And we hope that if you are a veteran, that you will come, men, women, any armed services, you're all invited to come. Please let your neighbors know as well. Thank you.
No, thank you, we appreciate it very much. Anything else on the good and welfare from the delegates? Yes, just wait, let them give you a mic. That way everybody can hear you. Back in you.
It's commendable.
Michael, with regard to Carol's question about the pool, where does that suggestion go to? Because I didn't hear any of you respond or say
Well,
yes or no.
Good clubhouse. What you could do is, after the meeting, write a little note, give it to Sherry, she will give it to Judy.
So Judy's office controls the temperature of all the pools?
All
No.
the pools are controlled by SendWest.
It's by Send West.
Do you know if it's one button? Whatever it's set at, let's say it's set at 84.
Well,
Is that just set?
that's why I want you to give it to Judy so she can give it to Dan Cruz who'll give you the answer.
Got it, thank you.
Right. Anything else? Okay, the residents, anybody, good welfare. Okay, just a minute, Fred. Where are you gonna go, Dave?
Good morning, delegates. I don't want to bend over. Got a bad back. Good morning, delegates and officers. My name is Fred Hadley from Cornwall E. First of all, I just want to correct one statement. Well, not correct, but as far as term limits go, and I'm not discussing the amendment or anything like that, Michael. In general, the legislature in 2020 passed a term limit bill for building directors, but it doesn't kick in until 2028. It has nothing to do with our 2028, just a coincidence. But starting 2028, if you've served as a director of a building for 8 years and you want to run again, you can put your name on a ballot, but if somebody else wants to run, then you're off the ballot. All right, so that'll be a term limit for directors. All right, as far as there was a mention by Stanley of the meeting tonight, there's only 40 or 50 chairs at the library, but I will be streaming that meeting on my Facebook page. Just go to Facebook and at the top, just search Fred Hadley. And at 7 o'clock or 7:03, whenever Sherry Scarborough starts that meeting, you'll be able to watch it live. It's a very important meeting. We've got the representatives of GL Homes. As you look around you, we are surrounded by GL Homes. They're going to be below the high school, across the street from the high school. They've already taken over the golf course by the turnpike. You know, Lyons Road, you got bridges, Boca Bridges, Seven Bridges. It's all GL. And the problem is there's too much overdevelopment. You're already starting to see way too much traffic. You can't park in the shopping centers. As we pave over Paradise and put in parking lots, that water that would normally percolate into the aquifer is running into the canals. Can't use it anymore, it's polluted. So we're gonna have drinking water problems. We're gonna have flooding problems. We're gonna have traffic, collisions, all because of overdevelopment. Now, the 24th of October is a vote by the Palm Beach County Commission to go against the land swap of the piece of land just north of Clintmore on 441. GL wants to give that for development, and they're going to trade it with some worthless piece of land.
Want to finish up?
All right, I see my time is up. Facebook, go to my Facebook page tonight at 7 o'clock. Please tune in. And also, there's a 5.5-minute CBS News reports that Mike Magnoli did. That's also on my Facebook and YouTube pages. Please get involved. This is the environment. This is global warming. This is climate change. This is our life. Thank you very much for the courtesy, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, point of information.
Yes.
The restriction on what what he referred to is for associations under 718. Cobrua is under 617 with no restrictions.
Okay. Anything else from the residents? Yes, sir.
Okay. Hi, my name is Robert, and I wanted to thank Regina for her help with all the work with Hotwire. But I have a question. Is there any planned improvements on the tennis courts in the near future or in 2024?
Is there any what?
Any planned improvements on the tennis courts in 2024?
Not that I know of. Stanley?
Tennis courts and pickleball will be a discussion at the budget to decide what we want to do and which direction we want to go. So right now, I don't have an answer for you, but it's a budget item.
When will that be, approximately?
I think I mentioned that we're meeting next week to discuss the budget.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Any other residents?
Michael?
Yes.
If this gentleman wants to make a comment about budget, for tennis courts, what is the approach? Just say something. Does it tell you ahead of time before they?
He just told us. He just told us. Well, he told us instead of the incident. His answer was, we're gonna bring it up next week. That's the answer.
Or he can put it in writing, put it at the
But we know who he
information
is.
desk, and it'll come to the.
We know who the
committee.
gentleman is. Okay, anything else? Nice turnout, thank you very much, I appreciate it, good meeting, thank you very much, see you next month. Motion to adjourn, tell us your name, because if you don't tell us your name, he's gonna bug me for another month. Okay, motion adjourned, thank you very much.